Hi everyone! I am going to show you today how to highlight and contour with our Senegence Concealers. I already have my Silk Primer on and my medium tinted moisturizer. I have a spray tan right now, so I don't really feel like I need a whole lot of coverage, so I'm only using our tinted moisturizer. Usually I would use a tinted moisturizer and a foundation, but in this case today I only used tinted moisturizer. Okay, so I'm going to go in with our light. This is a new concealer that we have. I'm going to go in with our light concealer, and I'm going to use this to kind of basically prep my my highlight, and then I'm going to go in with, if I can find it, our pearlizer, which is like our highlighter. It's what we use it for. So I always put my concealer on top of my foundation or my tinted moisturizers. Reason being, if you put your concealer on first and then you put your foundation on top of it, you're only just adding color back into what you're trying to take color out of. With our makeup, our color corrected tinted moisturizer already starts color correcting for you, and then when you go to put our concealers on top, it's going to finish the job for you. So when you put on your concealer, you never want to go in like a half circle under your eye. You always want to, you want angles. Sorry, I have kiddos in the background. You always want everything to be in an angle, like sharp, triangular shapes. That's going to help conceal your dark circles and your bags under your eyes, but it's also going to give you a sharper looking face. So as you can see, I used our light tinted moisturizer in a little triangular motion underneath my eye. And I'm using just like this is a foundation brush. It's just an angled foundation brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go and stipple. You can see I didn't use that much, and this is a little bit is going a long way. So I'm just keeping that triangle and just basically making that triangle bigger. Like I said, this is going to prime for my my highlight for later. And it's also concealing my bags under my eyes. So I'm just really blending that in really, really good. What this is going to do is it's going to give you a brighter eye and make you look more awake, and it's going to make your face actually look sharper, the angles in your face. Again, so I'm just blending this all out, keeping those angles. Make sure when you put it on, you're not just going like this, because that's just accentuating, I think that's a hard word to say, that bag or that dark circle. Okay, so I'm just blending those in really, 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 really well. So right now it looks like I have a whole lot of highlight going on, but once I kind of blend everything in and together, it's going to blend really nicely. So I also like to highlight right above my lip. You can just take a tiny bit of this. Highlighting your lips is going to actually make your lips look fuller. So I just kind of like that, and then right underneath my lip, like that. And then I'll go ahead and blend that in as well. You always want to blend in an upward motion. I always think of it like up, up, and away with wrinkles and bags. Okay, so that made my pout just stand out way more. And then I'll just take whatever's left of my brush and kind of just set this highlight right here for my jawline. And I just kind of basically just trace out my jawline like that. Okay, so now I am going to go in with our deep concealer, and I am going to, this is going to start my contour. So I'm going to start, when you do your contour, you want to feel for that cheekbone. When you suck in, you can see it right here. You want to feel for that cheekbone, and you want to put your, whatever you're using for your contour right directly below that line. So you want to start basically at the top of your ear and just bring that contour line down about like that. You never want to go inside your smile or your laugh line because it will make you look like you have a mustache. And so this is our deep concealer. I will post my link at the end of this video. So if you like what I use, you can go and order it. I just got something in my eye. Okay, so I'm just using a contour brush. I got this from an Ipsy bag. Honestly, it doesn't even have a brand on it, but I love it for contouring. So if you can find a brush like this, it's the perfect brush. So again, we're just blending in an upward motion. You want your contour to look like a shadow and not a bruise. So when you're blending this in and you feel like it's too dark, stop what you're doing and use a different color. So you do want it to be like about 2 shades darker than what your actual makeup color is. I like a pretty intense contour, so I go a little bit darker than that. And if you feel like it's too dark, go back to your foundation brush with nothing on it and just kind of stipple it in and just blend it, and it should help tone that down a tiny bit. So I'm using all Senegence products today. So then I'm going to go in with my contour again, and I'm going to contour my nose. And I just like a tiny bit of contour on my nose. I just like to make my nose look a little bit thinner. So I'll go about halfway up my nose and just create a line about like that. And that's just going to help my nose look more narrow. And again, just blending in an upward motion, leaving a little bit of space between my nose for me to highlight later. And then again, if it's too dark, just take your foundation brush and just get that really blended in. And that makes your nose look a lot smaller. You can even go and contour the bottom of your nose if you feel like the bottom of your nose is a little bit too wide or something like that too. And that just makes you look like you have a much thinner nose. Okay, so now I'm going to take whatever's just left on my brush. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of contouring, but I like to kind of trace out my jawline. You can put contour down here if you want to. I just use whatever's left on my brush, and it kind of always works out. And I just contour out my jawline. I start about right up here, like where my jaw starts, and just kind of bring it down, and I'll brush it down and kind of create a shadow under here to make my jawline just look a lot sharper. Okay, my hair's a mess. So if you want to, you can go ahead and contour your forehead too. Normally, if my hair is down, I don't contour my forehead, but if I were to pull my hair back, I would take and contour right here, just whatever's left on my brush, and just make that look a little bit smaller. And you can see it just kind of dims that just a tiny bit. This shirt's hard to work with. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my pearlizer, which is like, we call this our J-Lo Glow. I love our pearlizer. I'm a highlight queen, and I love lots of highlight. I like to sparkle and shine. So I'm just going to use a teeny tiny bit. It's like a half a pump of our pearlizer, and I'm going to start at the cherry of my cheek and work my way up and kind of like a sideways V around my eye. And I'm just going to stipple this in, and you guys can see that highlight. Ooh, is amazing. If you are older, you don't want to use you want to use something matte. I even use only matte under my eyes from about here to here, from about the inside of my eye to the cherry of my cheek. And then I'll go in with something shimmery, like our pearlizer, and highlight that all in. You don't want to use something shimmery on the inside of your eye, especially if you are older or have very dark circles or bags under your eyes, because the shimmer is just going to accentuate those bags and circles. Okay, so, and with this you can just continue to layer and continue to layer until you have the the look that you want. I usually go right about to the arch of my eyebrow with this, just because I just love, it's just what I do. I like to highlight my brow. And I'll put a tiny bit on the tip of my nose, a little bit above my lip where I did that primer before, and a little bit under my lip. I'm not going to do anything shimmery on my jawbone because I don't really want that to stand out. I just kind of want it to just kind of shine just a tiny bit, but I don't want any shimmer on my cheekbone. So now if you need to, you can go back with your stipple brush and just kind of blend everything in. If you feel like it's too much or standing out, then you just take your stipple brush and just go right back over it. So that is how you highlight and contour with a couple of our products from Senegence. There are a couple of my favorite products and ones that I use every single day. So it's definitely something, if you are interested in Senegence products or you have been using them, these are things that I would say are must-haves in our company. So I will post my link below, and if you guys want anything or have any questions, you can find me on Facebook, The Midwest Makeup Mommy, or you can leave some comments below and I can message you. Thanks!